Hi everyone, Paul Akers, and welcome back to the American Innovator. This week we're going down to Baja. We're going to go scuba diving 250 miles off the coast of Baja to the Socorro Islands. Now these are beautiful islands that are a reserve that you can dive at that have tons of marine life, particularly sharks and large mammals like manta rays and dolphins and whale sharks and all kinds of things like this. I've been waiting 2 years to go on this trip. We get ready to go, we test out the eye pole, and Tim, who's planned the trip, I give him a big hug and get next to Craig and try to get him to smile, but he's so difficult to get to smile. And he finally cracks loose with one, and we get ready for our check dive. We spend about 24 hours getting out to the islands, and we finally get out there and we do a quick briefing with our dive masters, figure out where we're going to go, and check out our equipment. Of course, before we get in the water, we got to check out what's in the water, and there's sharks. But of course, that's why we're coming here. We came here to see sharks, so that's all good. And the nice thing is we're not on the menu. And the sharks are very friendly, and they come up to you all the time, and it's very interesting. This is a white-tip shark right here. I can get very close to them, and we saw all kinds of great marine life, stingrays and dolphins, you name it, we were seeing it. And there's just an abundance of sea life out there. I mean, there's just tons of fish everywhere you look. So it was very, very cool. The water was, about 73, not the warmest in the world. And lobsters, oh my gosh, there were lobsters everywhere. Unfortunately, my camera didn't work the one time. We saw so many lobsters, we couldn't believe it. It was like a condo of lobsters, and there's booby birds. And then here come the manta rays, and they are absolutely unbelievable. They're massive. They're like a 747. They come over the top of you. They practically make the sky dark when they cross over the top of you. It's just incredible how big these guys are. You'll really get a chance to see the perspective on how large they are in a minute when you see them up next to the divers, because they can be 13, 14, 15 feet across. You can see the diver there. They're just absolutely massive. They're very graceful, and they're a shark, and they can actually breach the water. They can actually leave the water and come out. Can you imagine seeing that? That would be quite remarkable. But they're pretty cool. And then we had a flying fish that came on board in the evening, and we throw those back to the shark, and the shark loved those in the morning. And then we went out to this rock. They call it affectionately bird shit rock. I can't imagine why. Well, you can guess why. And the marine life here is incredible as well. Just tons and tons of sharks and tuna, you name it. We saw it there. They're hammerheads. Now the hammerheads are really, really deep, about 120 feet down. We went down, but it's pretty hard to get a good video of them because they're a little bit elusive, but you can see them sometimes. Another white tip right here. But all in all, it was just an amazing trip and just endless sea life. I think these are jack tuna, and look at the amount of fish that are around. It's just crazy. And the current is very, very strong here, and you can get in these little eddies where there's a little safe spot, and it's not too bad. But right here, we come around the corner, and Craig and the dive master Daniel's holding on, and they decide, no, we're going to go back, and the current just pushes us back. It's really quite amazing. And then there's eels everywhere, and these are big eels. These are not small eels at all. They're very, very large. And you can just see the abundance of fish life. I mean, it's just crazy how many there are. And everywhere you turn, there's sharks. This is a silky shark. So there's white tips and hammerheads, and there's a lot of different kinds of sharks that we could see. And lots of tuna. Just everywhere you go, there's big tuna. And then this is a little shark condo. Came up over this ridge, and there's this little cave, and there's all these 4 to 6 foot sharks sitting in there, and they just kind of sleeping during the day because I guess they hunt at night. So I got really close. I was about a foot away from this guy. Normally I'd be a little intimidated by that, but not really. And these are wahoo, I believe. They're like a barracuda, really good game fish, and this guy's got a big bite out of his back, probably from a shark or something. And then this is a big whale shark that comes by us, and he's down about 100 foot, and I'm about 40, 50 foot, so I couldn't quite get really close to him, but he was massive. So we had a great time, and we will continue to see all kinds of cool stuff on our amazing trip to Baja. In the last few days, we saw mantas far beyond anything I could ever imagine. We went in, We saw one, and then before long, the one came back and brought another one, and then another one, and before long, we had 3 mantas circling us, playing with us, interacting with us. It was surreal. The proximity, how close I was to them. I was looking into their eyeballs. The connection was just almost surreal. Nas, one of the other divers, said it was like being drunk underwater, and indeed, that's exactly what it was.
Well, all I can say is, if I never dive again, I saw it all today. I cannot believe what I just experienced. It was the best ever! All my diving in one dive was today. I just spent the last 15 minutes playing with manta rays at this close distance.
Good job.
So we got back to the boat and we loaded onto the Zodiacs and we went for a little tour around the islands. Now these are incredible volcanic islands that were birthed about in 1950 was the last activity, and they're just incredible. You can't go on the island, but we got to go all around it. The surf was incredible, the rock formations were fantastic, and the lava flows, everything was just really over the top, and the waves were huge. And it was fun watching them. We went to a little beach and everything. We had a great time. And then we got back into the water for more mantas. You know, it's hard to describe what this is like, but when I was in Seattle coming back, I had edited most of this video. And I was in the ex officio store, and one of the gals there said, "Hey, you know, what have you been doing?" And I said, "Well, I just went to Baja, went diving with Pacific great mantas." And she said, "Really? Do you have any pictures?" And I said, "Actually, I've got this really cool video." And I pulled out my laptop, and she was ringing me up for the few things that I bought. And there were 3 gals there from the store, and I started showing them this video, and they started crying. And I knew exactly the feeling, because this is exactly the way I feel about it. It's so emotional to be this close to animals that are this awesome. They are just magnificent. So needless to say, the crew of the Solomar were stellar. They took such good care of us. The food was fantastic. The dive team was over the top. They knew what they were doing, and we just enjoyed nature at the highest level. We had a great boat ride, and Tim, man, we owe you for putting together this fantastic trip. We waited years to go on this. I almost thought we'd never get a chance to go, but Tim, you knocked it out of the park. But remember that little practical joke you played on me at dinner? Well, you know what? Paybacks are tough, Tim. I'm not going home. I'm going diving. We brought this fantastic trip to a close. Here we have 3 mantas literally putting on a parade for us. It was breathtaking. Manolo told me that one time he nodded at a manta, and the manta nodded back. And I began to nod and watch this guy. Yes, I see you. It was unbelievable how we connected. We had to pull up anchor and finally head for home. But man, did we have a trip. And Tim, we're indebted to you. Awesome job. We had the trip of a lifetime. I will never forget it. Muff, you got quite a man there.